You ever think about a secret so big, so world-changing, that just telling people about it could get you thrown in prison? Well, that's the exact story we're diving into today, tucked away deep inside one of the most important texts ever written. And it all kicks off with a man in chains. So, right out of the gate, we're not starting with some saint on a pedestal, but with a guy who introduces himself as Paul, prisoner of the king. And listen, that's not just for drama, it's a massive clue. He's not in jail for some regular crime. He's locked up because of who he answers to and the specific job he was given. So, you gotta ask, right? Why is this guy a prisoner? What in the world was this secret plan that he was supposed to reveal? Figuring that out is the key to unlocking this entire thing. Okay, so before we can really get our heads around just how explosive this secret was, we have to understand the world it landed in. And it was a world that was basically split right down the middle, defined by this huge divide. Here's the picture. On one side, you had Israel, the insiders. They understood that they had this special, unique relationship of God. And on the other side, well, that's literally everyone else, the Gentiles or the outsider nations. They were seen as totally separate, completely outside of that relationship. And look, this wasn't some small disagreement. This was the fundamental social and religious dividing line of their entire world. Okay, so you've got this world totally split in two. Now, get ready for the reveal. Let's see how this prisoner's secret just blows that whole reality apart. And boom, here it is. The big secret, the mystery he's talking about. It was absolutely game-changing. It was that the outsiders, the Gentiles, were now becoming full-fledged members of the exact same family. They weren't some B team or a separate but equal group. No, they were now heirs right alongside Israel, all part of one body. So how does this actually work? Well, you can think of it like three main pillars holding this whole new thing up. First up, they become one body. That old dividing line is just gone. Second, they share one inheritance. Everybody gets the same rights, the same access to the promises. And third, it all happens through one promise. There's only one door, and everybody comes through it the same way, through the good news. All right, but just when you think you've got it figured out, the story takes this wild turn. Turns out, this whole plan wasn't just for people here on Earth. Not even close. This is where things get, well, cosmic. So we get this line in the text, and it's just wild. Paul says this whole thing was designed to show God's wisdom to the rulers and authorities in the heavenly places. I mean, what on earth does that even mean? Well, it pretty much means exactly what it says. The message, this incredible news about enemies coming together, it wasn't just for us humans. It was an announcement meant for the entire cosmos. And get this, the announcement wasn't a memo or some divine speech. The unified community itself was the message. Just think about that. This group of people, who used to be completely divided, now living as one family. That was the living, breathing proof of God's wisdom. Their unity was the sermon for these unseen spiritual powers to witness. Okay, so a message for cosmic powers. That's a pretty big idea, right? But what about for you and me, for the regular people on the ground? How does this massive plan actually change anything for an individual? Well, it's all connected because Paul stuck to this one mission, this one job he was given. It had a direct, tangible impact on the lives of everyone reading his words. So what was that impact? Two things: courage and confidence. I mean, remember that great divide we talked about? For those people who were once outsiders, this changed everything. They could now approach God not with fear and trembling, but with the courage of a child running to their father. They had this incredible confidence that, yeah, they belonged. No questions asked. They'd never be turned away. So, in the end, this prisoner's secret wasn't just about getting people to get along. It was a demonstration for the entire universe. And that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on. What does it mean for the way we live together, for our unity, to be a message to the cosmos?